As far as students just losing interest over time, that can happen in chorus or in band. And if that's something you've thought of and ways to possibly mitigate that from happening, it might seem like, oh, this is new, this is interesting. But then as time progresses, some kids are like, you know what, this is just not for me. Maybe I just quit band or quit chorus and just stick to my like core curriculum classes.
Yeah, I already know I have a few kids who are coming back and going to do like early admissions, seniors who are going to do early admissions so that because they can get college credit and go online. The online thing at high school it's not for them, like you said. And the only thing that was holding them like at school in the school building was chorus or band or drama. And now that is not existent, it's existing on a different plane in a different form. They just don't feel like it's going for them. The best thing that I can do, I think, is just try to make personal connection, but you can only do so much over the computer. The innovative nature of what we do is things that happen in between classes, before and after school, between periods when we can identify, the kids that are having a bad day or there's something major going on in their life and their family. And, hey, what's going on with you? Come talk to me during lunch, or let's talk after school. And we can kind of identify, or at least let the kids know that we're there for them and that we care about them. And, there's that face-to-face personal connection. And now I can only do that so much online. I had a few counseling sessions at the end of classes last semester with kids who I had already established relationships with at school. But now coming back to school, especially for the new kids, establishing those relationships and then, making them know that I'm available for them and things, it's going to be tough.
Obviously, at my school, kids can't quit band class. They're in the school because they audition for the arts and they have to take that's part of their core curriculum. But last year, I did experience a number of kids who checked out, who were disengaged, particularly the older kids, a couple seniors, but not just relegated to seniors. The other frustrating part were the students. I had some some lower income students that didn't have access to great technology and could not really get online much, or, parents are working from home, kids trying to be on the internet, the parents are trying to be on the internet, and there's terrible service. It's just bad connection because they don't have the bandwidth, I guess, right? So it's frustrating for whatever kind of school you are, in terms of keeping them engaged. I think that the routine is going to have to be different in terms of the online teaching. It can't be the same thing every day all the time, where they're just going to get zoned out. I think we have to change things up, make things interesting somehow, and using some of the online platforms and some of the apps that can make it fun for them, but also still let them engage with each other is important. I think them engaging each other online, you're going to have to do a lot of change ups to keep them engaged. But more importantly, I think I'm going to have to do a lot more to have them engage each other online, figure out ways to do that, because they have to have that interaction. It can't be just me at a computer screen and them back at me. That's got to be more them on each other.
You when you were talking before, you mentioned about apps that make it more interesting for them and the connection that they're going to interact with each other. The only thing about their interaction with each other is they have selective interaction. In other words, they will interact with the kids that what they want to interact with. So it's harder for us to regulate their interaction if we're not savvy to what the technologies are, if we're not, we as like music educators and educators in general, if we're not able to provide an area for them to interact with each other. Otherwise, they're going to go on to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, Snapchat, and they'll just talk with their 4 or 5, closest friends, and that's it. And, the kids who are on the fringe, will continue to be on the fringe, or they'll be, isolated completely.
Yeah. And you bring up a point you alluded to is how do they interact with each other with the platforms that we have with Google Classroom? It's not like they can have a click a button, have a private conversation with, I don't believe they can have a private chat or any kind of private conversation with another student. So, those personal relationships and interactions are hard to do on that platform. The ways that I would do it are they would have to play for each other and they would have to comment. And Scott's right. They're going to be the kids that have the video off, that have the microphone on mute, and they're probably in the next room playing a video game. Unless there's a way to mandate, that we have to see their faces for a certain time. And I don't know if there's any way that I can mandate it, because some kids don't have the video technology. So it's almost like you have to trust that, you get an overwhelming majority of kids and keep them engaged.
Have you thought of any interesting ways that you can change it up, like Evan was saying, and keep them interested, cool, fun things that you can do?
Well, I mean, to start off the year for us with the chorus, the short answer is yes, I've thought about it, but the long answer of implementation and concretely saying, okay, I'm going to do this or that or whatever, I really haven't set into practice. I'm probably going to do a lot more theory, sight singing, foundational musical things with, at least for the chorus, right off the bat to start with. Music appreciation, the way I've taught music appreciation in the past is not going to be too hard to transfer over. I was already using Google Classroom from the beginning of the year last year, so having all of my lessons, all of the assignments already on there is easy enough, and I'm pulling in video things to supplement. So that's going to be easy, but I'm talking about with the choral kids, to try to build the foundational things, even in my upper ensembles. I'm probably going to do a lot more of the sight singing, and I'll play videos, utilize YouTube a whole lot more to take the glasses. I got a glare. Utilize YouTube a whole lot more for videos for warm-up, so they can get different perspectives of different things and different techniques. We'll have to do a lot more analysis. In other words, evaluation of performances, and so we'll do a lot more of that on the front end than I would have in the past.
Evan, have you thought of any ways that you can mix it up and keep it interesting and keep it fun, keep it light and fun for the kids?
Yeah, what I tried to do was at least three times a week, say if the class met 5 times, or say we would watch performances of professional groups or other groups, and I would try to find actually some tongue-in-cheek performances as well, and then have kids engage each other and ask questions about what they thought was good about it, what they thought could have been improved, and try to get them, to be
R2D2 is talking.
Yeah, to be learn how to listen critically and evaluate critically, and be constructive with their criticism, which is not easy for teenagers to do. It's not easy for adults to do either in this day and age. So in terms of other ways that we can do things differently, I did have students play for each other, but in terms of the creativity side, and I think Scott mentioned this in some ways, why can't they write a simple song, a simple melody, and make a simple harmony to it? I mean, that's something we should be teaching anyways in our classes, but we're always so focused on literature and MPA and the next concert.
I think you're tapping into something. We'll be able to do a whole lot more of personal improvisation and music writing and the analysis part and the being a good audience member. Right. teaching that we should be doing, because I don't know about you, Evan, but like in my situation, 99% of my kids are not going to be music majors in college.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure it's a significant portion for you because a lot of the kids want to go.
It's half on some years it's less,
right.
maybe,
So, yeah. So what we're really trying to do is provide an environment for those kids to have an outlet artistically and be creative. And so this gives us a chance to explore other creative avenues: songwriting, producing, tracks, beat making, all of those things that they can do that we're not able to do in the regular chorus and band classroom, because, like Evan said, we're so focused on the next MPA or the next performance, or hey, we got a gig on Friday, or in marching band, we got the show to put out, and we got to get the the next chart on the the next set of charts on the field, and all of that stuff. And with chorus, it's like we got the national anthem at the pep rally on Friday, or we've got S&E coming up in a month and a half or 2 months, or so like Evan says, we're so focused on literature and getting music put together that we don't get to the other creative things. So I think this will be a chance for us to explore that.